I'm not sure how, but this is giving me runway vibes. Like an aircraft runway? Hey guys! I'm Rod the Fox and welcome back to From the Depths. Now we might be able to finish up the Dreadnought this episode. I know I said I was going to finish it up last episode, but I ran a bit short on time. But hopefully we'll be able to do it this time, because if I must be honest, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Because, well, there's still two other ships that we need to do. And I'm not sure how big those two other ships are going to be. But they need to be big enough to supply a whole fleet of ships. What just exploded? Seriously, what just exploded? You dumbass. You crashed right this spawner fortress, you moron. Okay, get up out of the water. This time round, I'm hoping to complete the front and back sections that we started on last episode. Then it comes into adding the thrusters, the AI, and the weapons. Once all that's put in, this ship will be finished. And so, tell you what guys, I'll finish up these back sections since I already done them before, and I'll catch you guys again once these are done, because I know for a fact these are going to take a few minutes to do, because, well, these are not exactly small. Guys, I just thought of something while I've been building this. I'm not sure how, but this is giving me runway vibes, like an aircraft runway, which is honestly giving me a bit of an idea on what to do with one of the other ships. Now, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be the medic ship or the repair ship, maybe both, I don't know. But what do you guys say to even having one of them being aircraft carriers? Because that will be something new and something different. That is definitely something I did not do before. And plus, I think it'll be a nice and welcome change. And I might actually leave the sections like this because I kind of like how this looks. Because I mean, it's still like the same thing, but it almost looks like the middle sections like risen from where the cornered slope sections are and straightened out. Which, I kind of like that look. I think I might have made a bit of a miscalculation here. Whoops. I'm kind of liking the look of this. It honestly reminds me like the back part of a blimp. I like this. This looks really cool. And like the previous ships, this is where the thrusters are going to be going. And there's going to be 3 sets. Oh god. I just realized. There's going to be a set of thrusters on the bottom. Getting the thruster ratio correct for the top and bottom sections is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, because even though the top part is heavier, there's going to be twice the amount of thrusters, and I can't have that overpowering the lower section, which is going to be half the weight and half the thrust. So, oh boy, I got my work cut out for me, don't I? God damn it. Okay, I got the bottom inner slope sections finished, and I had to build these up a little bit more, because you guys see with the original ones there's a gap left over, so I had to build these up a little bit of a extra layer, and yeah, it looks a lot better. And I'm kind of proud of this back wall. This looks really cool. So now I'm going to continue filling these in. And once they're done, I'm going to go back and continue working the exterior. And there's a point that I actually want to bring up here. Someone mentioned it in the comments of the previous episode. And it's something I mentioned before. It's about me wanting to have the fights balance. And someone commented that having an overabundance of blocks could be considered unfair. There's one thing I want to say to that. Yes, this is a huge amount of blocks, but it's also easy to take down. Because one thing I learned from my previous ships, where all of these ships have the thrusters on the bottom in order to keep them up in the air, if those thrusters are taken out, even enough to keep these properly balanced, these ships are going down. And one thing I learned from my ships in the past is that once these ships hit the water, they're more or less useless, because anything that's below water doesn't properly work. And like, that includes targeting systems, including missiles. So unless like a ship gets repaired in battle, which these won't be, yeah, there's not really much more I can comment on that with, to be honest. Basically, once these ships go down, that's it. They're pretty much just goners. I would potentially look into a solution to counteract some of that, but that would make the builds I got overpowered. Because this goes back to what I was saying earlier. Especially with this ship, and due to its high block count, if this thing got up out of the water after being shot down, as long as it doesn't take too much damage, yeah, this thing would just say sayonara. And it's one other thing I want to add that as well. This ship in particular will not be used until late game, because that's what this ship is made for. It's made to be a late game ship. So it's basically when spending over a million resources, it's not a big deal. Because I would like to spawn this in earlier, but not only will it be expensive to not only A, spawn in, but B, also keep up, and C, it would just be hard countering enemies, and that's not what I want to do. Because the whole point of this is to be fair. I want to give fairness to the enemy. Now, I know for a fact that there might be a chance that I'll be throwing some unexpected curveballs and some things that may seem to be a bit unfair, especially with the ships that I'm using. But it's more or less comes with the warranties of this. Because, I mean, let's face it, those enemy factions are going to hit us, and they're going to hit us hard. Because I'm going to have them on godly designs. Why did it just suddenly just get so bright in here? What the hell? And plus, the enemy fortification rate is going to be on default. So, I think that the only stats going to change is going to be on godly designs. Everything else is going to remain on default. Because I'm still not completely experienced with this game, but I do want a little bit of a challenge. And one thing I do know, especially early on in the game, some of those godly designs, they have no problem showing you what's what. Because there's been a few occasions that I've counted in the past, where I come across godly design and I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I don't like you, so you're gonna die. And from what I've seen from previous playthroughs, especially Lathux's playthroughs, with like the last faction ships with like being like Scarlet Dawn or stuff like that, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly scared of Scarlet Dawn ships. Because those things kind of powerful. And yeah, I'm going to need to make sure that I have sufficient firepower to take those out before it becomes a problem. And plus, with this being the only ship that's going to be in the whole fleet, well, that's not exactly going to tip things in my favor all that much. Because, well, like I mentioned in the previous episode, there's going to be one of these ships, like one large missile ship, 2 medium and 2 small. And one thing I forgot to mention, it's going to start off with all 5 small aircraft. It's going to be the beginning of the game, and so yeah, we're not going to have a lot of resources to play with. So we're not going to be strong starting off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take what would be the temporary flagship of the fleet for the time and upgrade that to the next tier up. And as for the other 4, they'll move up to the next, what would be considered next grade or the next size up in that fleet. So go from the first ship in the fleet to the second, to the third, and then the fourth, and then we'll go up to the next size missile up. And the first ship to get that treatment will always be the flagship. And one thing I might actually do with this, I might try something different. Because the previous ships, the fronts look just like the backs. This time, I might actually slope these. So the windows will be angled around. Alright guys, I got the front window put in, and I want to show you guys here once I got these last blocks put in of what exactly I did, because needless to say, it's kind of ridiculous. It's perhaps one of the most biggest viewing windows I've ever put on a ship, and that is saying something. As you guys see, things may look a little bit different because this whole entire front section is all layered glass. Every single thing you see here, from here all the way around to here, from either side and even the front. And basically anything from these wood slopes right here all the way out to the iron right here is all glass. And I would have done the tops and bottoms as well, but I didn't want to potentially go overkill on it and I have the whole entire front be glass, because well, I also want to have a bit of defense into it too, and besides, having a viewing window that friggin' big is still going to provide one hell of a viewing area. And don't worry, I will be putting in the exact same layered hallway as I did with the previous ships, because I do not want the engine room to be taken out under any circumstance. And the reason why I put glass, especially so big, into the ship is for the same reason why I have viewing windows into the ships at all. Because I want these ships to be viewed in first person. Okay, now I got that done. Now all I have to do now is just finish sloping this up, making this look better. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of proud of this. I just got a few more beams to put in, and I think that'll be it for this episode. And there's still honestly some things that amaze me with this game, especially like, well, I can't really say so much of the things that I do myself, but say so much of the things that I'm able to do, because, well, I want to show you guys what it would be like in more so of a first person perspective. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Wow. I might actually have like the main viewing deck actually right here, like right in the middle. Like I might stretch out the floor right here and go right across and have the ceiling right up here, right where this other slope block is. I don't know, I'm considering it because this just looks absolutely incredible. Well, I might actually use the slope parts as the ceiling. I don't know. So that's gonna do for this time, guys. So raise the like button for the depths if you guys enjoyed, subscribe and ring that bell if you guys want to see more stuff like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys. Ooh, this is really coming together, and I'm loving every minute of it. I didn't mean to quote the song, but yeah, this is just, wow, this is just incredible, if I say so myself.